Hey, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but our eternities are wrapped up in it. I am excited and want to welcome you to the Jolly Good News Report. The Jolly Good News Report, a report we created just for you to give you some good news in this time of bad news, sad news, depressing news, despondent news. You need something to lift your spirit, something to make you feel better so you can have fuel to get through these challenging times, not just to go through them, but to grow through them and get to the other side better than when you started. So we want to give you some resources and some tools to help you in that process. And so when this pandemic hit, I started doing a Saturday morning show just for you. So good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning to you. We're all in our places with bright, shiny faces. This is the way to start a good day. So good morning, happy Saturday morning to you, and happy week. This is going to be a great week. How do I know? Because we choose for it to be a great week. We decide that. That's a decision that I want you all to make, that this is going to be a great week and you're on your way to a great rest of this month and into the rest of the year. We're going to find ways to make things great by our choices, our decisions. You know, it's a great thing to be able to decide to be grateful. That's a great thing, to be grateful. And to decide to be grateful is a choice. You choose to get up in the morning and be grateful. You choose to get up in the morning and say, you know what? I am grateful for another day. It has an impact. It gives you fuel for the fight. It gives you fuel for the journey, and it gives you fuel for your future. So welcome to the Jolly Good News Report. And I'm doing it different this week. I decided I'm going to shift. I'm going to change. I'm going to do something different. And I'm going to see how you like it, how we respond. I want you to do a couple things for me, if you would. I want you to start a watch party right now. Start a watch party. Say, Dr. Willie Jolley's on with his Jolly Good News Report. Start a watch party so all your friends will know. Then I want you to like it and share it. And if you're on YouTube or on any of the other platforms, I want you to subscribe to my channel so you'll know when I'm doing things, when we put up new content. But we're putting up content. We have created new content every week since March, and I'm amazed at how many people around the globe are joining us for all of this new content. If you're on my newsletter, you get a daily 1-minute message from me. I want to thank all of you who get that message and respond. We have never, ever in all the years I've been on television and radio had the kind of response we've had from the people who send just a quick note every day saying, wow, that one I needed today. Wow, you blessed me today. What a great message. That's exactly what I needed to hear. Thank you. We just get this over and over again, and we've never had that kind of response. We get responses all the time from the other radio shows and television shows, but this is just overwhelming. So I want to thank you. And if you're not on our newsletter, you can go to winwithwillie.com and get on the newsletter, or wjspeaks.com, wjspeaks.com/gift. And you get a free gift when you go there. In fact, if I were you, I'd go to the wjspeaks.com/gift so you get some goodies while you're signing up for the newsletter. Also, we got the 1-minute messages. Then we've got this Saturday morning Jolly Good News Report. And then we've got the Happily Married Monday with the Jollies every Monday night at 9 o'clock on Facebook Live. And we are now getting people who are finding out about that all over the globe. People who hear about how we're trying to save 1 million marriages, enhance 1 million marriages, and encourage millions of people to do what we've done, work toward creating a drama-free marriage. That's what we got, a drama-free house, drama-free home, drama-free marriage. Been married 35 years. Woo! 35 years. We've been married 35 years, haven't had an argument in over 33 years. And so we're grateful that we've learned some principles that have helped us. As I like to say, principles are critical for any success journey. Methods are many. Principles are few. Methods may change, but principles never do. You throw a rock up 100 times, 100 times it'll come down because of a principle called gravity. And we want you to get principles for successful living and for successful marriages. So join us, Happily Married Mondays, 9 o'clock, Facebook. So we're putting all this content, plus my radio show on Sirius XM, plus my daily radio show on Get Up Morning with Erica Campbell every morning at 7:20 Central, 8:20 Eastern time. We are putting content to try and impact, and I got even more coming. Oh, we got some big things coming. I don't want to tell you about it. And then finally, we got our podcast on iHeartRadio, C-Suite Radio, on TuneIn, Stitcher, the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast. So putting out content every which way I can think of, because we want to make sure that you are getting through this. That's why we do this, to help people through this. Because, you know, Michelle Obama said, even Michelle Obama, with all that she got, filling up arenas and a best-selling book and all the great things that are happening, she said she had been suffering from low-grade depression because of all of this bad news, sad news, false news, depressing news. You need some good news. That's why I started Jolly Good News. And this is the Jolly Good News Report. By the way, I want you to go to jollygoodnews.org, jollygoodnews.org, and become part of our community. If you want to make a donation, we are excited about the fact that people are donating because they see good. You know, someone asked the other day, what do you think about giving? I said, you sow into good ground. When people you see it doing good, that's where you sow. That's where you put your blessing, because then it returns upon you, because it says if you sow into good ground, you'll get a blessing. And as you give, so shall it be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, overflowing. So we encourage you to go to Jolly Good News and just get some of the free resources. If you got people who have cancer, we got a whole section there on cancer thrivers and survivors. And if you want to be a partner with us, go and sow, and we appreciate it. And I want to thank those who have sown some pretty big gifts to us recently, and we need even more. So we're going to take this to the byways, the highways, to the corners of the earth, telling people about good news and the Willie Jolley way. Okay, so every week I start with a piece from my book. One of my books. This week is from my book, It Only Takes a Minute to Change Your Life. And these are, I'm going to share two of them because they're going to apply to what I'm going to talk about today. And those two are about optimism and expectancy. I'll start with expectancy. In order to be a success, you must cultivate a positive mental attitude. Every day you need to develop a positive outlook and a positive expectancy. A positive outlook is to look for the good in situations rather than the bad. A positive outlook is to see the rain and be excited because you know that the plants need rain to grow and flowers need rain to blossom. And without the rain, we would live in a desert. A positive expectancy is to expect great things from the actions and opportunities that are all around you. A positive expectancy is when you expect good from your actions. There's an old saying that miracles usually come to those who expect them and welcome them. Expect great things and develop a positive mental attitude, and you will be able to do great things. With a positive mental attitude, you can weather every storm and know that with every blessing, there is a burden, and with every burden, there is a blessing. Aim for the blessings. And then optimism. As you develop a positive mental attitude, you will also develop optimism. Optimism is the attitude that expects good things to happen and the ability to believe that positive things are going to result from your actions. If you are optimistic, you develop a sense of expectancy to see the good in things rather than the bad. As you develop your positive mental attitude, remember to remain optimistic. Look for the rainbow and know you can't have a rainbow unless it rains. I like to use a phrase I heard. I'm so optimistic that I'm going fishing for Moby Dick in a rowboat. And I'm taking the tartar sauce with me. Stay positive. And remember that it is a positive thinker who often sees the invisible, feels the intangible, and achieves the impossible. Come on, somebody. Oh, and statistics show that your attitude makes a difference, not only in achievement, also in your physical health. People with a positive attitude tend to get sick less. And when they are sick, they get well quicker. That's what I want to focus on today. Your positive attitude. So every week I've been telling you about the statistics that I want you to focus on. We know that if you look at the regular news report on television, you will see that they'll tell you how many people got sick and are infected by the coronavirus the coronavirus virus, and how many have died. That's what you get. But they miss, I think, the most powerful statistic that we here at Jolly Good News, this is what we focus on, which is how many people recovered and are home with their families. They're still here. Wow. So this week, it goes up every week exponentially. Last week it was about 12 million people. This week it is 14.2 million people. 14,200,000 people are home with their families all around the world. So we are grateful for that good news. Isn't that good news? Let's give a big round of a shout, a thank you. Give God some glory. We see people are going home. That's what we want, more that kind of good news. So we want to encourage you to keep doing the things that will keep you healthy. So I want you to wash your hands. I want you to social distance. I want you to wear your mask in crowds. And I want you to stay healthy, stay positive, and realize that it is a positive attitude that makes a big difference. So that's one of the things we want you to do. Now, we want to talk about the good news, the impact of optimism. The impact of optimism, and we talked about optimism just in that reading, but I want to talk a little more about optimism and what an optimistic attitude can do for you. You won't get sick as often. Studies show that people who expect good things to happen have stronger immune systems. That's because when you feel optimistic, immunity boosting hormones get activated. So when you are optimistic and you feel optimistic and you feel good, that's why we encourage you to exercise every day. I've been telling you for the last 3 months, make a point every day to go out and say, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Say it to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Because every time you say it, your spirit is hearing it. It's not just for the other person. It is also for you. The more you say it, the more you hear it, the more you experience that good morning, the more you will feel like it is a good morning. You have a good morning, you want to go to a good afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon, you're on your way to a good day. You repeat that day 7 times, you had a good week. You repeat that week 4 times, you had a good month. And it all starts when you have a habit of saying good morning to people in the morning. Make it a habit to say it 10 times to 10 people. So and also I've been encouraging you when you get up in the morning to make sure you do some sort of physical activity, move around, do something. Because when you do that, something powerful happens called endorphins are released in your bloodstream. They are natural in uppers, they're endorphins, they're natural inducers of positive feeling. So exercise, take a walk, take a run, go do some jumping jacks, do some push-ups, do something every day. I do something every day, physical, as I get started on my day to say, hey, I want my attitude to be popping. So I do some exercise while I'm out with my mask on. I say good morning to people. Good morning. Now sometimes they don't say nothing back. It's okay because I'm saying it for me, not for them. So I want you to keep working on your attitude, working on it. Optimistic people also are less likely to have a stroke. That's what studies show. Optimism is associated with a slower buildup of plaque in your arteries that can lead to a stroke. And a University of Michigan study found that the more positive people were, the lower the odds of having a stroke, as well as lower there were for them to have issues with Alzheimer's. Neuroscientist Dr. Gary Small, he wrote the Alzheimer's Prevention Program. And here's his advice for keeping your mind sharp and reducing your risk of Alzheimer's is start by eating like the Greek people eat. Eat like a Greek. That means fruits, nuts, beans, vegetables, olives, and fish oil. And throw in a glass of red wine once a day for good measure. And that's what that study shows. And so I'm not a big wine drinker, but occasionally my wife will get red wine. I just sip it because I'm aware of the fact that that's one of the tendencies for people in the Greek Isles as well as Italians who have a higher level. But it's the fruits and vegetables that's critically important. Columbia University found that people eat a Mediterranean diet have up to a 67% lower risk of Alzheimer's disease. Also, on Dr. Small's Alzheimer prevention program, think positive. Woo, we just said that. You got to think positive. There's something about positive thinking. Training yourself not to freak out under pressure. That can help preserve your memory as you age. Scientists believe that an overproduction of stress hormones causes the brain to deteriorate over time. That is why we're encouraging you to think positive. How do you do that? What's the impact? How do you get a positive attitude? How do you develop an optimistic attitude? Well, I often say the key is input. Your inputs determine your outputs. You got to put positive in if you want positive out. So I encourage you to make a point every day to read or listen to something positive. First thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, make a point every day to read or listen to something positive. It makes a world of difference. That's every day. I do it every day. I read or listen to something positive, some music that lifts my spirits as I'm riding my bicycle or as I'm taking a walk, as I'm getting out. I'm reading or listening. I'm listening to something positive, whether it's an audio book or I'm listening to positive music that lifts my spirits. If you've not heard my money-making music and motivation CD, oh, it's great music. Go to williejolly.com or wjspeaks.com/ free. I think that's wjspeaks.com/free. And some of my music is there. Music that will encourage, uplift you, and inspire you. That's just created just for that. Now, input, music, and then find something inspirational. The word inspiration is taken from the Greek word to breathe anew. You breathe anew. So you inspire somebody. You know, if you went to the hospital to visit somebody, they said they expired this morning at 10 a.m. You know that the breath of life went out of them. But the word inspiration, the breath of life comes into them. And we want you to breathe the breath of life into you. Books can do it. Music can do it. Positive sceneries can do it. What is it that inspires you? I often find people and tell them, you know what, I join in on your calls, or I do this or that, because it just inspires me. I look for inspiration every way I can because it gives me energy. It gives me fuel. It gives me ideas. And I'm always looking for great new ideas to help in the process of growing where I want to grow and doing what I want to do. So I'm encouraging you to do that. Jolley Good News is all about that, the impact of optimism. You know, this week on my daily 1-minute messages, if you're on my call, you'll hear me talk about the ostrich and the eagle. And before I get to that story, I'm going to talk about the impact of optimism and looking and expecting good from your actions. I remember speaking years ago at the Crystal Cathedral, the Hour of Power, Dr. Robert Schuller. And Dr. Schuller and I had some time together. And I told him how one of his stories really impacted me, and I'd heard him share. He said that if you look at a desert, there are two birds that predominate or dominate a desert environment: a buzzard and a hummingbird. The buzzard looks for death, and occasionally will find it. The hummingbird looks for life and will find it. What you look for is what you will find. You look for negative, you'll find it. There's enough negative out there. You'll find negative. There's all sorts of drama. Some of the reality shows, nothing but drama. Some of the television shows, nothing but drama. Negative energy. where I look for positive. I'm looking for good. I'm looking for encouraging. I'm looking for uplifting. I'm looking for inspirational. I'm looking for it everywhere. I'm looking for music, for movies. Even when we go on, when we have our date night, which we have our date night every week. We have a date night. Thursday night is our date night. And even though it's just two of us here, because we quarantine, or we're not going out a lot. And so the two of us are here, my wife and I, and we have a date like every day, but we are intentional about our Thursday night date night. And we all say, what are you going to do? So sometimes we watch a movie on television, and we look for the movies as we're scanning, the ones that are positive, let us feel good at the end of the movie, rather than leaving us down in the valley. I want to feel good when I'm finished with the movie. Don't you? How many would like that? Look for those kind of movies. That's what our new company, by the way, we're creating, my son and I, Jolley Media, is going to create positive, feel-good movies, feel-good television, feel-good music, feel-good radio, feel-good programming, because people need it. It impacts their psyche. It impacts their body. It impacts their health. So we're excited. So that's the first one, is the hummingbird and the buzzard. The one you're going to hear this week, if you're on my newsletter, is about the ostrich and the eagle. And it was specifically created or provided to you from me to help you through this time of crisis, this pandemic. Many people are wondering, how do they get through this tough time? And I say, well, you have to make a choice. Are you going to be an ostrich or an eagle? An ostrich sticks his head in the ground when things are challenged and challenging times come around, or something is challenged, sticks his head in the air and says, let me know when it's over. Wake me up when it's all gone. I'll come back out then. Versus the eagle. The eagle, when the challenges come, takes off and gets high in the sky and looks at the whole environment and sees it from a higher perspective and sees, yes, there are challenges right here. There are difficulties. We just got to get through these, because I see up the road. Good is up the road. So all I got to do is keep the faith, keep moving, and don't give up. Stay focused on getting past this. There's good up the road. Wow. That's what I want you to be mindful of. I want you to be mindful that there's good up the road. Be like that eagle. Don't be like the ostrich. Stick your head and say, wake me up when it's over. No. I want you to be proactive. I want you to move forward with positive energy, positive expectancy. That's why we talked about optimism, because the eagle shows you that if you're optimistic, you keep faith, you keep moving, there's good up the road. If you will keep that faith and keep moving forward, good things are coming your way. So I am optimistic about your future. I'm optimistic about this week. There's good up the way. It's good. Keep moving. Keep the faith. Keep believing. Trust God. Work hard, but work smart. Come on, somebody. Trust God, work hard, and work smart. You know, people used to tell you, don't work hard, work smart. Well, what I learned is this, that if you're going to be successful, you got to work hard and work smart. It's not don't work hard, work smart. You got to do both. You got to do both. But if you're going to work hard, make it so that you will work smart while you're working hard. You know, Abraham Lincoln said, if you're going to cut down a tree, and it usually takes 6 hours, take a couple hours and sharpen the saw, and then you'll cut your work time in half. You might be able to do it in half the regular time, because you got to sharpen the saw. That's why I encourage you to fill yourself up, sharpen your saw, work on your thinking. Your input determines your output. Garbage in, garbage out. So I am excited about your future. This is going to be a great day, a great week, a great month on purpose because you choose it to be. So I want to let you know that I am grateful for you. Will you do me a favor and tell Lottie, Dottie, and everybody to join us Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern Time for the Jolly Good News Report. Hey, do me a favor. Let me know how you like this new environment of me standing and talking to you from this position rather than behind the desk, the anchor desk, as I like to say. We're going to do it from another perspective, how you like it. If you send me an email at info, I-N-F as in Frank, O, at williejolly.com. Info at WILLIEJOLLEY. Remember to go to jollygoodnews.org and become part of our community. And if you would be so kind, make a donation. Bless us as hopefully we've been able to have some blessing on you and anything that you want to donate, because we're going to take this to the next level. We're going to go and take this program and start looking at ways we can take it to traditional television, not just online television, but traditional television. We're going to be in many places. I applaud my friend Joel Osteen, how he has built his ministry on television that impacts people. I'm going to use some of the things I've learned from him, from others who are on television, to give people some positive energy, some positive inspiration, and some positive motivation, and give God the glory. Woo! And give God all of the glory, because he's worthy of the praise. So, but I always close with telling you, if you don't know him for yourself, then you want to do that. It's a simple process. First, you say, hey, I want to change. So it says that none of us are righteous. All of us are sinners. All of us I got issues, but if you will give your life to him, your life can be transformed. I know it transformed mine. So all you have to do, if you accept him and believe him and confess, ABC, accept, I accept, B, believe, I believe. He was born, he lived, he died on a cross, he was buried in a grave, but he rose. And then you confess that Jesus is the Lord of my life. ABC, accept, believe, confess. You're good to go. You do that, you'll be well. And all will be well with you. Well, look, I want to thank you for your time. Remember to follow us, share this, like it, and tell Lottie Dottie and everybody, Saturday mornings, 10 o'clock, Dr. Jolley's on the Jolly Good News Report. And let me know, info@williejolly.com, how you like this new setup, because I want to do more to please and to impact you. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. My time is up, and I want to thank you for yours. Have a great day. God bless you. Bye-bye.